Hey, this is Stephanie from Unique Yarn Designs, and today we're going to go over how to crochet a cat butt coaster. These are super cute. They're about 5.5 inches long from tail tip to the end of its little paw, and about 3¼ inches wide. And they're just the right size to put your beverage on top, and these will certainly be a conversation piece when you have them out on your table. So for this pattern, we're going to be using Lily Sugar and Cream yarn. I have for the butt color, this is Coral Rose, and then I'll be using one of their lighter gray colors as well. You also need a 4.5mm crochet hook. This yarn typically calls for a 5mm, but I found that widens the gap in between these stitches a bit too much. And a 4mm, like maybe what you would use for amigurumi or some of the crochet stuffies, I found that to be a bit too tight and hard to work with over time. So 4.5mm works best for me for my tension. Okay, so we have our 4.5mm or a G size crochet hook. And the first thing we're going to do is make a magic loop, chain 1 to lock that loop in place, and then single crochet 6 inside of the ring. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to pull this loop closed with the tail end, and then I'm going to cut my yarn. And now with the gray yarn, I will go into the first single crochet of this circle to fasten on my new color for the body. And then I'm going to pull through as if it were a slip stitch to end this first row. So at this point I'm going to chain 1, and then we're going to work 2 single crochets inside of every stitch around, so that'll end us with 12 single crochets at the end of this row. So now I have 12 single crochets, and the last stitch, so the slip stitch that was at the end, I'm going to kind of pull on this tail end to make it a bit tighter, and then I'm going to skip that last stitch so that we have 12 single crochets total, then a slip stitch to complete the row. So this is not worked in the round. We're going to make a slip stitch at the end of every row. That just makes it a little bit easier to keep track of your counting and then to know where to start the tail and how to line up the feet at the end. So now we're going to continue to widen our circle. So for row 3, I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to make 2 single crochets in the next stitch, followed by 1 single crochet, and we're going to repeat that around. So 2 single crochets in the first stitch, followed by 1 single crochet. So that'll give us a total of 6 stitches increase, so that'll be 18 single crochets at the end of this row. All right, 1 single crochet for the end, and again we're going to skip that slip stitch that's on the that's at the end, and we'll just make a slip stitch to that first stitch to complete the round. So now for round 4, still winding the circle, so we're going to make 2 single crochets in the first stitch, followed by 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches now. And we'll be repeating that for this entire row, so that'll be a total of 24 stitches at the end of the round. And so for the next round, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to widen the circle a little bit more. So we'll do 2 single crochets followed by 3 stitches in each stitch. And then for the next round, we'll do 2 single crochets in the first, followed by 4, until we are at the right width. I'm doing too much math. I forgot what I was doing for this own round. And then I'll slip stitch at the end as before. So just to recap here, this first one was 6 single crochets followed by 2 single crochets in each stitch, and then 2 single crochets followed by 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets followed by 2 individual single crochets in each stitch. All right, so now we're on row 5. I'm going to make 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and repeat that around. Some people say that this could be confused for not just a cat butt, could be a dog butt also, but I really like the thought of this being a cat butt, because when they walk around, their butt's normally showing anyways. All right, so I'm at the end of my row. I'm gonna slip stitch. So at this point, there will be 30 single crochets when this round is finished, not including the slip stitch. Okay, so we're gonna do that one more time. So I'm gonna make 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and now do single crochets in the next 4, and then repeat that around. So 2 single crochets followed by 4 single crochets in the next 4 stitches. And after this round, we will be making our tail and our feet. Oops. Okay, so this round is now complete. I'm going to make my slip stitch for the end. And at this point, we've done the inner rows here. And for our last row, we'll make the tail and then work our way around the edge to make the feet. And then we'll end and fasten off. I found that this is a little bit easier than adding on the tail and feet after that final row. So we're gonna do it all at once. This list ends for you to weave in later. So, okay, so we're going to start off by chaining 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you're going to single crochet in that second stitch from your hook. And then you'll half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then you'll make 6 double crochets. So it's a total of 9 stitches for the tail portion. Whoops. All right, so that's my tail completed. And so at this point, we're going to, let me get to where you can see. So we're gonna skip that initial slip stitch, and then we'll skip the next stitch after that. So if it looks like this should be your increase section, so we're gonna skip that, and we're gonna make 1 single crochet in that first regular single crochet that you had from the previous round. So make a single crochet. And that's our tail. Now our tail is connected. And then I'm going to make 1 single crochet, so now that's 2. And I'm going to do a single crochet increase, so 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And now I'm going to single crochet 5. So because we've done this, we've offset the increases that we had before. So that'll give you a nice kind of rounded edge for your cat butt coaster instead of it looking a little spiky on the sides from the increases. Okay. So now I've single crocheted 5. So now I'm going to do another increase, so 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And then I'm going to single crochet 5 in the next 5 stitches again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so at this point, so you'll have a total of 5, 6, 7, 12, 14. There'll be 16 stitches from the base of your tail that you've made to here. And now we will make the feet. So for this first foot, I'm going to chain 3. And then I'm going to make 1 double crochet in the second stitch. I'm going to make 1 double crochet in the second stitch from the hook. And then 1 additional double crochet in this last chain space. So that's 2. And then on the side of the single crochet that we made last, I'm going to go into the side of this single crochet and make 1 additional double crochet. So your feet, 1 foot is 3 double crochets. So I'm going to go into the side here, make my last double crochet. And then I'm going to skip the next stitch on this round. Go to the next stitch and make your single crochet. And now your foot is attached. So we skipped 1, just like we did for the tail. So now I'm going to make 4 more single crochets. So that'll be a total of 5. So I have 5 single crochets after my foot. And now we're going to make the second foot. So again, we're going to chain 3. Make a double crochet in the second stitch from your hook. Double crochet in the next chain space. And then double crochet into the side of the single crochet that you made. And then we're going to skip the next stitch and single crochet in the one afterwards. So now we have 2 feet. And then we're going to make 4 more single crochets. So there'll be 5 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to make a single crochet increase. So 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And now we'll just single crochet, 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end of this row. So at this point, I have just the 1 slip stitch remaining. And I'm going to slip stitch into that. So not into the side of the tail, I'm going to slip stitch into that last stitch on the round. I'm going to fasten off. And there you have it. We've got another little cat butt coaster to join all of his friends. So that's the end of this pattern tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed it and find these cat butt coasters as hilarious as I do. And again, this was Stephanie from Unique Yarn Designs, and we will chat again soon. Thanks.